This has been one of the toughest weeks on Great British Menu.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Are you going to be on time? Because it makes a big difference to me now.
This is the final warning. Okay.
Each of these 3 chefs from the Central region has a single goal: to get their dish on the menu at the ultimate street party. On yesterday's programme for the second day running, innovative Akhtar Islam triumphed.
Very pleased to have got the result that I've got, 2 courses in a row, very, very high scores.
But returning chef Richard Bainbridge is still in the lead overall, while to her huge disappointment, Sue Ellis is at the bottom of the scoreboard.
Sue's not going down without a fight. She's getting her confidence as the week goes on, so I don't think we can count her out of the race.
This is their last chance to win some points from former champion and Michelin star holder Glyn Purnell, who'll be scrutinising their dessert courses.
What about the panna cotta? Is that in the fridge now?
But how will the 3 of them cope when disaster strikes?
They've just had a total meltdown on all the electrics and the gas.
I don't really know what's gone on, but my ice cream's melted.
This is it. It's going to be full on in that kitchen.
This year's competition is all about creating the perfect food to share. Stunning and exciting dishes that are a feast for the eyes. And on this final course, Glyn will be expecting nothing but the very best. Only 2 chefs can face the judges tomorrow, so everything rests on the quality of these dishes.
The great thing about puddings is some great chefs have slipped up here. So if you pull out a cracking pudding, grab the bull by its horns and turn out a fantastic dessert, you can seal your place in Friday's final.
First up is Norfolk's celebrated Richard Bainbridge. He's desperate to get through to the judges, having failed to do so last year. Only 1 point clear of Akhtar, he has to deliver to the max today. But he's got his concerns.
A lot of chefs find desserts really hard, and I'm in that bracket. They're the scariest thing to me. I can cook savoury things all day long, but when it gets to desserts, I start to freak out. I'm doing a DIY ice cream sundae. It's a load of fun, this one. It's 4 different ice creams, so chocolate, strawberry, pistachio and vanilla. Then I'm going to do some little rose marshmallows, some sugared nuts, some chocolate soil and some strawberry biscuits and things like that, and it's all going to be plated out, and you just start building it yourself.
And you've developed this sort of pudding to get the interaction off the table?
Yeah, completely. To me, I think my whole menu so far has been my personality on a plate, and I think this is a nice finish, fun, relaxed, tasty.
Will quirky touches like his chocolate soil, a crumbly topping for guests to sprinkle on, lift Richard's retro sundae out of the ordinary?
Sounds nice, it sounds pretty safe, but is it enough? Is it enough for him to sneak into the final? I mean, he's almost got 1 foot in there, he's in the lead, but he's not completely there, so he needs to make sure this is bang on the money.
Next is Birmingham's Akhtar Islam. After a poor start and trouble with his timings earlier in the week, he's now on a winning streak.
What I need to do is keep the momentum going. I need to go in there, cook like hell and make sure everything comes out perfect, because I cannot afford a mistake in this course at all.
Talk about your pudding then.
Okay,
last one.
So strawberries, we're going to do a strawberry samosa. We're going to serve that with a mint sherbet, so this little mint sherbet to dip it into. Then we've got panna cotta, which is lightly flavoured with chai tea, and then we'll have a coconut sorbet, pistachio tulle, and we're going to make a shirkand out of mango.
You think this is suitable for the people's banquet?
Yeah, I think, ultimately it's going to be a befitting finish to an amazing banquet. It's nice, it's light, it's going to be quite playful as well, and there's an element to the presentation which is quite dear to me and the way our family entertain guests, so it will work very well.
Akhtar must produce this complex array of Indian-inspired desserts on time and to a high standard today. But Glyn has already spotted a potential problem.
I'm quite surprised that he's doing a panna cotta. Is he going to set? A panna cotta is pretty simple really. But again, simplicity sometimes in the Great British Menu kitchen can be a massive downfall.
Last up is rising star Sue Ellis, who so far has struggled to find her form in the kitchen, with dishes that have been judged too simple and too safe.
Final chance now, so I've got to give it all. I've got to nail this. I've got to get the best score, otherwise I'm out of here.
What are we doing?
Afternoon tea, quintessential English, Great British menu for the banquet.
So talk us through it then. So we've got some beautiful sultanas.
My scone, I'm going to do a little bit of a spin on scones on the top, but obviously in a dessert form. I'm doing apple parfait. Then we've got chocolate tart and vanilla and lemon slice, like an really old-fashioned looking slice.
But do you think this is a dish that will be suitable for the people's banquet?
Yeah, I think this is fun. I think if you like tart, if you like chocolate, if you like an iced parfait or something slightly warm, everything's in this. So.
Will Glyn think Sue's old-fashioned afternoon tea is ambitious enough to give her the point she so desperately needs today?
Sue's dish sounds great. She's got loads to do, but I think she's thrown everything at it. She wants to stay in the competition. She wants to prove she's good enough to represent the Central region. But if one of those elements goes wrong, she's going home.
With so few points separating the chefs, they're all brutally aware a mistake at this stage could cost them the competition. Richard's got success within his grasp and is trying to cover all his bases to avoid slip-ups. Akhtar's picked up on his unusual tactics.
You've got every pan labelled up.
Yeah, because I got 3 ice creams going on and they all need to get done as quickly as possible.
Fair enough. I just thought you were going around the kitchen marking everything as yours. That's cool.
If I'm here tomorrow, I might well be doing that.
Sue, fighting hard to stay in the running, starts making the 5 separate components for her afternoon tea. Each one must be faultless for her to stand a chance of outstripping her rivals.
I've got a lot of elements, I've got a lot of intricate things going on. Everything's got to be perfect. You know, it's a lot of technical things. Hopefully Glyn's going to see that and be storming.
Richard is also working hard. His 4 flavours of ice cream, strawberry, pistachio, chocolate and vanilla, need to be made quickly so there's enough time for them to freeze. But Glyn has a big concern.
Shall we get on?
My only worry is my little array of 4 ice cream machines at the back.
It's quite warm in here, and to do 1 ice cream is all enough. But to 4 is a pretty brave move.
Well, I like to take the risk. If I didn't think it was worth it, then I wouldn't do it.
Akhtar is also up against time, which hasn't been his strong point throughout the week. Like Richard, he's making a frozen element to his dessert, a coconut and lime sorbet, which he needs to get into the ice cream maker as soon as possible. Then he starts on his chai panna cottas, which need to be chilled to the perfect wobble, but he's against the clock. He knows he must prove he could get his pudding out to the guests at the banquet.
In order to meet the time deadlines, I'm having to speed up the process of chilling the panna cotta down, and I risk creating ice crystals in the mixture which will take away from the smoothness that I'm trying to achieve.
Glyn is aware of the intense pressure that Akhtar has placed himself under.
What about the panna cotta? Is that in the fridge now, Seth?
We've put it into the fridge now, so fingers crossed. They're in the small Dario molds.
So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed we'll be there. Okay. Miracles can happen.
On the other side of the kitchen, Sue's storm of activity hasn't escaped Glyn's notice.
You got a quite lot on?
Yeah, I got a lot on this one. I've got to pull this out of the bag this time. This is last attempt now.
Yeah, last chance to them.
Yeah.
Your parfait made, is that set in?
Parfait's in. Scones are going next.
Yep.
It's like a lemon butter. I've still got pastry for my slices. Should we stop talking?
Yeah, I'll
shall we?
leave it to got a bit too much on.
Richard's approach is far less complicated. With his ice creams now made, he's got time to size up his main rival, Akhtar. With only a point between them, his lead is now just wafer thin.
How's your tweels going?
I've had a 50% success rate, which is very, very, very bad.
Mine aren't working either.
I've got 4 that are perfect, so...
How many have you got on a plate?
1.
Oh, well, you're in, chef.
But while the success of Akhtar's biscuits may be sending shivers of fright down Richard's spine, Akhtar has a major problem on his hands.
So how are you looking, Akhtar?
I'm good, but my big worry is panna cotta. I'm worried it's not going to set.
Right, okay.
So found the smallest molds possible, poured in as little as possible. So for once I'm going to be mean on my courses.
Sue, who must beat Akhtar by at least 4 points today, has no intention of being sent home early. And she has another reason for wanting to get through to the banquet. Like all the chefs this year, she's been out and about in her community looking for ideas for her menu. She's invited a group of local school children from Breeden Hill Middle School to her restaurant in Pershore to help her decide which dessert to make.
Are you excited for this?
Yeah.
You're looking forward to it?
I'm really excited about it because I haven't really been in like a professional kitchen before.
Their teacher, Debbie West, is hoping that by spending time with Sue, her pupils will pick up some inspiration and confidence.
Okay, what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to split you into teams. We're going to have 3 groups, and we're going to do 1 apple streusel, which is like a crumble, 1 apple mousse, and 1 apple pie.
So we're going to be making apple pie. Got your recipe sheets in front of you.
This is for our mousse.
The children quickly get on with making all 3 desserts. Which one will they think looks the tastiest and is most easily shared?
Here they go.
The pupils are getting into the spirit of the competition.
Who's going to win?
Who's going to win?
We're going to win.
Yes, yay!
Which dish will they like the best? The crumble, the pie, or Sue's dish, the mousse?
My favourite dessert was the apple crumble. I like the mousse, but it just didn't really taste of apple.
At the beginning of the day, I wanted to be a chef, but now this has inspired me to want to be a chef even more.
Now the pupils have made their choice, will Sue follow their advice?
I think the crumble was probably the winner in the end, even though I think mine was more aesthetically pleasing. So maybe try and incorporate a little bit of that. Maybe I could do a bit of a spin on the crumble to improve mine.
And it's been a real success for the children.
They've loved every minute of it, from getting on the minibus to coming down here to enjoying working with you and with all of the other chefs. I'm so impressed with their cooking skills. I think it's just been brilliant for them.
It's been a great day, and Sue has a final surprise in store.
So hopefully, when I get one of my dishes onto the banquet for the Great British Menu, obviously be a massive honour to do that. Would you like to come to something like that for the big?
Yes, brilliant, thank you.
And do you think the children would like to come?
Shall I ask them?
Yeah, I think so.
Guys, can you listen? Anybody be interested in going to the street party?
For Sue to get through today, nothing short of perfection will be good enough. But everyone is straining every sinew to make the best dessert of the day.
I've had to come out of the kitchen. It's so tense in there. The heat's cranked up, the pressure's on. Everyone's running around. I felt like a spare part, so I've come back out of the kitchen and I've left them to it.
There's everything to play for, but who will go through to cook for the judges? Will it be Richard, who's serving DIY ice cream sundaes in a nostalgic kickback to the 70s? Or Akhtar, who's desperate to impress with his chai panna cotta, coconut sorbet, mango shirkand and strawberry samosas? Or will it be Sue, who's pushing the boat out with her extravagant and elaborate afternoon tea of scones, chocolate tart, vanilla and lemon slice and an apple parfait crumble? Glyn will have a tough decision to make. After his scores today, one of these chefs will leave the competition.
I think you can clearly see on how much it means for these guys to get to the banquet. They're throwing everything at it. You can see the passion, the emotion. They're running around, they're whisking, they're chilling, they're ice creaming. They're just absolutely going for it.
All 3 chefs have their heads down. This course could make or break their chances of going through to the judges tomorrow. Akhtar is having trouble getting his panna cottas to set. Sensing trouble, Glyn moves in for a closer look.
It's just going to pour out over the plate.
If the panna cottas don't set, it could spell the end of Akhtar's dreams of going forward in the competition. This is Sue's opportunity to seize the day, and she knows it. She's determined to rack up as many points as possible to re-enter the race.
You've got quite a lot to do. Have you done most of it now? Are you on top?
About 3/4 of the way through.
Popped over to have a quick word with Sue. She was very focused. She's going 100 miles an hour.